What's up, YouTube? Poor Man Podcast back with another video. Today's video is going to be Dr. John Gray, why testosterone levels are dropping in men. For those who do not know, John Gray, the best-selling relationship author in the world ever, will be on the podcast on Tuesday, August 10th, I believe. Make sure y'all mark y'all schedules. If you do not catch the podcast live, it will be going straight to Patreon. So if you are not a Patreon member and you do not catch it live, you won't have access to it. But he has a lot of insight in the hormonal differences between men and women specifically. But let's go ahead and get into the video. Make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe button. Y'all already know. Give it an HBO special, help a brother out special. Hit the like and subscribe button for more content. But let's get right to the video. John Gray, why testosterone levels are dropping in men. Let's see what he has to say.
Urgency, emergency. So I want to give you a slight doomsday picture of what's happening to men in the Western world. Is that every year after 25, our testosterone levels are dropping 1.5% on average. The symptoms of low testosterone are the following. Some people call it andropause. Women have menopause, men have andropause, is some terms for, but this is basically statistics. As men get older in our Western world and their testosterone levels drop, they don't have to, remember, if we have these solutions. The basic symptoms of low testosterone for men as they age, here they are. Low energy. He goes to his cave, he doesn't come out. Right. Low motivation. I want to retire. I don't want to do anything. What is retirement for men? According to the insurance companies, it's a death sentence. Men statistically have 3 years to live beyond retirement. Because if you don't have something that says, I have to get up or somebody's going to suffer, if there's no urgency or emergency in your life to motivate you, then you just become what we often call a fat cat.
Bingo.
Your belly gets bigger, another symptom of low testosterone.
And just to kind of further elaborate, there's a study out there that says since 1986, the average male testosterone, so that means if I'm 25 years old in 1986 versus 25 years old, and I believe the study was in 2011, your testosterone as a man has decreased an average of 1% a year. That's astonishing. That means that you have about 25% less testosterone than the average man at the same age just in 1985. Sperm counts in men has dropped by 60%. So there is a huge problem when it comes to men just out in the world, and this could be a reason why we see less men wanting to go out and take risks, why we see less men finding their purpose, why we see less men feeling motivated enough to go out and try to attract women or seem to, or to be to appear desirable to women. That plus obviously we have societal issues that play a role too. When you have the Me Too movement saying that everything is sexual assault, it makes it pretty hard to go up and find the courage to approach women. But just a little piece that could be a part of that puzzle. I know Jordan Peterson spoke about this, but he talked about women's dependence in 2021, women's dependence on birth control. And one of the effects of birth control is it makes women attracted to men who have less testosterone. So maybe this could be the reason why we hear women saying men should talk about their feelings. We don't want men to approach us. This and this. It could be potentially because women are literally, due to the dependence on birth control in 2021, literally more attracted to men with less testosterone. And kind of to put that out there a little bit, he referred to a study. In that study, it compared women ovulating, or it took women that were ovulating and had them look at pictures of men. And one of the best predictors of testosterone in men is your jawline. So men who have a stronger jawline tend to have more testosterone. And women, when they were ovulating, found the men with more testosterone to be more attractive. When they were not ovulating, though, they found the men with less testosterone to be more attractive. And so when you're on this birth control, 365 for decades at a time, it could affect who you find as a potential mate attractive. You know what I mean? So that could be part of the reason why this is going on. But I can't wait to have John on the show. I have tons of questions for him in terms of the hormonal differences between men and women. I think he's going to be able to answer them with some pretty good accuracy. I think everybody should be there when I do this show. It's again, it's August 10th. Tuesday, August 10th. There will be a link. If you go to the community tab, you can click that. Make sure you press that bell so you get a notification when the live stream starts. or just go over and become a Patreon. I will be uploading more content onto my Patreon, and with the more interviews I do, the more interviews will be over on my Patreon. So go ahead and do that, but let's continue the video.
Low libido. And this is amazing. It used to not, nobody talked about all the impotence in the planet or in the Western world until Viagra came out, and 1 out of 3 men over 40 started taking Viagra. See, men are not going to announce, gee, I have a problem, I'm not interested in sex anymore. Why is that not a problem? Because they're not interested in sex anymore. It's the women that say, hey, whatever happened to the sex stuff? I like a little more of that affection, a little more of that interest. Well, it doesn't have to go. We just have to know how to stimulate. She needs to know how to stimulate in him. And, I have the power to create more testosterone by doing all the oxytocin stuff. When I'm confident I can make my wife happy, no problem. Most men panic as soon as a woman starts to talk. Oh, no. How am I going to get out of this? Testosterone levels take a dive. Beer belly, muscle degeneration. And, of course, people are like trying to solve these problems taking hormones. They can take the hormones of a young man, you get symptomatic relief, but you're not helping your own body to do it yourself.
Right.
This is my experience being a relationship expert, not a medical doctor. Medical doctor is going to treat symptoms. Let's get down to the cause. We're human beings. We just have to figure it out. The world is more stressful than ever before. How can we use our relationships? We need new skills. Right. What are some other symptoms? Difficulty sleeping is another symptom of low testosterone. Of course, getting up in the night and visiting the bathroom several times, clearly low testosterone. Prostate swelling, low testosterone levels. Increased body fat, particularly in the belly. Oh my goodness. Premature hair loss. I'm glad I caught it soon enough. Okay, I look in the mirror and I'm still grateful. I got it. Achy joints. I used to have that bursitis. Men in their 50s, a lot of them get this bursitis. Gone.
So
all these
many
aches and pains
effects.
in my body, gone,
man.
because I was able to stimulate particularly testosterone for men. Now, some men go, I'll just take the cream. Just give me some testosterone cream. Well, you'll get symptomatic relief, but we don't know what's going to happen in 20 years. So what other the achy joints? Oh, the last one is sort of an apathy, a lack of purpose, a lack of meaning. I figured after I'd written 15 books, why do I need to write another book? People kept saying to me, hey, what are you working so hard for? And I went, yeah, I'll just go on vacation. I almost started to die. My belly got bigger, testosterone levels dropped. This can be anybody's possibility. Same thing for women, but it looks a bit different. Women suddenly go to this place of more oxytocin, they have more energy, they have a happier life, they're more joyful, and they can achieve their goals more and more as well, without a doubt. Finding that balance provides that support. So a little motivation for women and for men living with women to help her create more oxytocin to lower her stress.
Right. So one of the very interesting things about men and women in terms of different hormones and responses, and this comes from John Gray just in a different video, is he talks about our because society is more stressful for everyone than ever before. But one of the interesting things is men are being told to deal with that stress. We are supposed to talk about our problems. You hear women saying this. You hear society saying, "Oh, men should be able to talk about their problems more." But the thing is, when men complain, we actually build more estrogen. When we respond to stress by complaining, we build more estrogen. When we respond to stress by problem solving, we build more testosterone. See, women live happier lives through estrogen. That's why when women have problems, they go and talk to friends, they go and talk to family members, they converse amongst each other, they get in these echo chambers, which ultimately could be destructive, obviously, because then you go off of anecdotal evidence and you say this is the experience of all women and this is how all men act because of your empathy towards your own friends and the amount of estrogen that's being released from these conversations. But oh dang, I almost lost my train of thought. But just men are supposed to deal with our problems. Men are better at problem solving, and one of the ways men can maintain their testosterone levels, according to John Gray, is having responsibility. And this is why I preach how important having responsibility is. Not only that, but when you problem solve in your response to stress, that's a good way to build testosterone. But the only way you can lower that stress level and respond with problem solving is if you have the confidence. Well, how do you build confidence? You can only build confidence through going out, trying, and failing. You know what I mean? So many men are afraid to go out and try new things and fail at them. But that fear of failure increases your anxiety, which increases your stress, which decreases your testosterone, which also makes you gain weight, which also decreases your testosterone. So it's just like a domino effect, and this stuff is really interesting to me, especially in a time where we're being told that there are no differences between men and women. It's going to be really refreshing to have this conversation and talk about some of the immediate differences between men and women in terms of hormones. So not only do we have differences with our physicality in terms of having a key or a lock, if you get what I'm saying, for demonetization purposes, but we also have just hormonal differences. So, but that's the end of the video. Till next time.